Hello. Hi. How's it going? I am super excited to be here with you. Happy New Year. I hope that you're off to a great start this Monday morning. I wanted to come on to you live because I couldn't help but think about how executive leaders might be starting their week or their year off a little bit differently than you could be starting off right now. So I wanted to check in with you, give you a few things that you can start thinking about so that you really set yourself up for that executive level promotion in 2022. My name is Stacey Mayer, and I am a promotion strategist, which means that I essentially figure out what it's going to take to get you promoted into a higher level executive position. I am the author of Promotions Made Easy, a step by step guide to the executive suite, and the host of Maximize Your Career with Stacey Mayer podcast. And today I am coming on to you live to really share with you some of the insights that I have learned over the years, not only working with women to get them promoted into higher level executive positions, but in my conversations with executive leaders. So it's really obvious to me right away the way that executive leaders think versus the way that rising executive leaders think. And once you can start to make the shift into how you see yourself, how you make decisions, how you communicate at work, that's when you're going to start to get the traction that you really want to be making in your career. So I'm going to share with you at least three things. I don't know. I probably have more observations that I have been noticing in terms of my own students inside of my programs and also the executives that I connect with as well. So, the first thing that I want to point out is a little bit of my point of view, which is the default thinking, right? So, our default thinking as leaders is I really notice this because it's the beginning of the year, is to think about what we're going to do different this year, right? And that makes sense. And I actually feel a huge energetic shift on January 1st. Like I wake up and I feel totally different, right? I feel reborn. I feel reinvigorated. I feel recommitted. I love coming up with words of the year and all of those things. And if you're watching, let me know what your word of the year is because I'd love to hear it. I love all of that stuff. I like planning out my year and going through my strategy. I love journaling, all of these great things. And I think all of that stuff is wonderful. But what happens is we're still taking ourselves out of the driver's seat. So essentially, when I say I want to be reborn, I'm going to do things different, I'm going to change things, I'm going to buy a new wardrobe, I'm going to lose 20 pounds, I'm going to get that promotion, whatever that might be in 2022, we're still looking to fix ourselves. And so the work that I do is I coach women to become that executive ahead of time, to truly step in to that corporate leadership role right now. So, as you're going into 2022 and you're thinking about your goals and you're thinking about what you want to do different this year, I want to add something else to your list of to dos. And that is to connect with that place in yourself that is already the executive leader. So I recently re-released one of my most popular podcast episodes from 2021, which was 5 things executive leaders do differently than what you're doing right now. And so you can go to staceymayer.com/podcast and listen to that episode. But one of the biggest things that I talk about in that episode is how they executive leaders see their value. So I learned this really early on. I had a client when I first started my business. I was coaching a CFO to find a new position. So he wanted to leave his organization and become a chief financial officer somewhere else. And I was working with him and I realized the way he saw the world was very, very different. And basically, He had unwavering belief in his ability to quote unquote CFO. He was an executive leader. So when he was going out and looking for opportunities, he wasn't trying to prove himself. Like that had already been done, that work had already been done. What he was attempting to do was find the best fit, right? So he was almost interviewing them to make sure that he could make maximum impact at those particular organizations. So that's the first step that I want to talk to you about is what executive leaders are doing different than you are is understanding with unwavering belief and unapologetic confidence that they are the executive leader and that they can lead at that higher executive level. Now, I don't care if you're a director or a senior manager or already a vice president. This is the work that I would love to see you start to do in 2022. So, in addition to, blocking more time in your calendar for strategic thinking, in addition to reading more, whatever you're going to do, I want you to spend some time identifying how you are already an executive leader. What are the qualities that you already exhibit that are at that executive level? Why are you, without getting another degree or more education or even 10 years more work experience, why are you qualified right now to lead at a higher executive level? So, again, executive leaders have unwavering belief in themselves to lead at this executive level. So, the work that you're going to start to do for yourself is figure out how you're already an executive leader. So, ask questions, have 15-minute ally meetings, go out and build relationships, right? Figure out what executive leaders do and what you already do as well, right? When you can start to see them as a peer, when you're putting yourself up for a promotion and you understand beyond a shadow of a doubt and have that confidence in yourself, then you're going to show up so much better in those conversations. So, first thing, understand your value as an executive leader now. Start to believe that you have the ability to lead at that higher executive level. Now, I'm going to give you a little bonus tip here. At the executive level, you don't have to have all of the answers. You just have to know how to go out and find the answers. Again, at the executive level, so this is a tweetable. Go ahead and tweet it. I might do the same. At the executive level, you don't have to have all the answers. You just have to know how to go out and find all of the answers. So, this will help you as you start to uncover what those higher level ideas are. Now, the second thing that executive leaders do different than you is they literally deliberately manage their career. They deliberately manage their career. They have a career pathway. They have set intention up. They know where they're going long term. They know the steps that they're going to take next. Now, this is different than having all of the answers, right? So you might be one of those people that's still like trying to decide. I don't know if I want to stay in this industry or this industry. I don't know if I want to work for a public company or a private company. I don't know if I want to change to nonprofit, right? I don't know if I want to change out of tech, like whatever that might be. I don't care about any of that. That is not deliberately managing your career. That's just like making stuff up, right? Having a long-term vision for your career is something that you can come up with no matter of all the specifics. It doesn't even matter. You just know the impact you want to be making. You know the type of team you want to be leading. You know the problems that you want to be solving, right? So first, step one, understand what makes you great. Step two, know why you're going to be successful in this higher level position by understanding where you're headed, right? So knowing what really motivates you. These can be your core values, it can be things that you care about, it can be ways that you've had success in the past and you just want to do more of it, right? So that's a second thing that executive leaders do differently than you is that they are deliberately managing their career. They don't wait until their performance review, right? It's almost laughable. I can't imagine a C-suite executive not having a pulse on their how they're leading, right, and where they're headed, right? So definitely you that is something that you can start doing right now in 2022. And now let me look at my notes. I had one more thing here that I wanted to share. Um, okay, great. And third and final tip for how executive leaders lead differently than what you're doing today is that they understand the goals of the organization. So if you want to start identifying how your group, your leadership ties into the greater goals of the organization. So you want to start doing the 15-minute ally meetings that I teach inside of executive ahead of time. You want to be getting those open feedback conversations. You want to be constantly having a conversation with executive leaders, connecting with executive leaders on a regular basis, understanding what they care about, what motivates them, right? Less about presenting yourself and more engaging in conversation. So those are the three things that executive leaders do differently than what you're doing today. One is they understand their value. They know what they bring to the table. They know that they deserve that voice at the table. They have unwavering belief in themselves. Number two, they have that long-term vision. They know where they're headed and they make decisions accordingly. And number three, they understand how the work that they're doing ties into the work of the organization and they know how to start communicating that. So when you start to do those three shifts, then you're going to be seen as that executive leader ahead of time. You are going to show up as that powerful, powerful executive that you already are. Spend the time on step one, figure out how corporate badass you already are and start showing up in their way. That is my wish for you in 2022 is to get yourself out there, to understand your value and to go after your bigger long-term vision. If you want to do that in a group of people, I welcome you to join us inside of Executive Ahead of Time. We have our 2021 kickoff or 2022. We have our 2022 kickoff call on Wednesday. So now is the perfect time to enroll. When you register, you get lifetime enrollment, meaning the earlier you register, the more coaching you get with me every single week. Inside of Executive Ahead of Time, I map out my step-by-step process. You have 24 core training videos that you can watch on your own time and receive lifetime access to, essentially giving you those answers to how you are already that executive leader. You start to build your confidence by understanding your 3X vision and engaging in conversations using 15-minute ally meetings with executive leaders. So join us inside of our powerful community. We are literally bringing more diversity to the leadership table by getting you promoted in 2022. Thanks so much. If you have any questions, reach out. And otherwise, I can't wait to see you there. Bye.